Hello. And this week we're looking at number 5 in the series, the book of Revelation, and we're looking at the 7 seals. And of course we're looking particularly at chapter 6. 7th seal doesn't open until chapter 8, but let's stick with what we have for this time. And already we get into areas of prophetic dispute, could I even say. Different interpretations of what this all means. If we go back to William Miller, you'll see that quote in our notes for this time, where he says, "The 7 seals are a history of the transactions of the powers and kings of the earth over the church and God's protection of his people during the same time." And for him, of course, expecting Jesus to come at any moment, they were all past. All the 7 seals had been accomplished. But then Uriah Smith says they, the 7 seals, evidently cover events with which the church is connected from the opening of this dispensation, time of Jesus, to the coming of Christ. So that means that some of the seals are future, right? And then you've got various other ones there. I even mentioned the fact that David Koresh had ideas about the seals and so on. And it is disappointing, maybe that's the right word, that we get so focused on trying to tie up every last little bit of the prophecies when we should be looking at the grand sweep of things, the big picture, the great controversy. And as we read these seals, first of all, you have the 4 horsemen coming out. You see that you have the white horse, and then you have the red horse, and then you have the black horse and the pale horse. And it's not good news with any of them, as you see. It's all about war and famine and disease and death. Not good news all the way through. And then it goes on to the persecution, the saints under the altar, and the earthquake, and the sun turning black like hair sackcloth, and a moon turning red like blood, and so on. Images of doom and disaster. Reminds me one time when I went to a pastoral district, the members there said, "Oh, Pastor, please, one thing, no more doom and disaster." Obviously, they'd had a pastor who got very much into these kinds of elements. And we have to take this and say, yes, this is true, and this is what has and will happen. This is the bad news of this world, but let's not get stuck there. The answer is God has the answer, and he is going to bring it to a conclusion. And that's what I would like you to take away from all of this. I also wanted to tell you that when I looked it up and examined in the writings of Ellen White what she had to say about the 7 seals, she only mentions the 7 seals 4 times, and 2 of those are duplicates. So basically she only mentions the 7 seals twice. Why? Because for her, that was not the major focus. Certainly not the major issue in her mind of the message she had to share. And I think there's something that we should learn from that. Yes, we should understand prophecy. Yes, we should understand the big picture. But let's not get involved into all the disputes. You remember in 1888, that conference there in Minnesota, instead of talking about righteousness by faith, they got involved in, was it going to be the Huns or the Alemanni as this prophetic interpretation? One side said, no, it's definitely the Huns. The other said, no, it's the Alemanni. And they had a big argument about it. No, that's not the main point. The main point is to say that God is in control, that whatever happens here on earth, tragic though it will be and has been, it will come to an end, and that God himself will come back, and that we will be part of that. And this vindication of God is also the vindication and the salvation that we receive. So let's focus on that and think about the good news that Jesus came, is risen, has ascended, is with us now, and is coming back. Think of those things.